Krishna 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 He Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Krishna Kesava Krishna Kesava Krishna Kesava Pahima 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Goran Nitai, Goran Nitai, Goran Nitai, Goran Nitai, Goran Nitai, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jagala Deva, Jaya Subhadra, Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Giri Govardhan, 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Go to Jai Mishupad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajakachaja Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Hirabai Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sridham Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandi Biti Founder Charyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samavata Bhakti Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Dainitai Gaur Pimanande. All glories to be assembled devotees, all glories to be assembled devotees, all glories to be assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksurandalitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Sarabhyai Namaha.
Om Surabhyai Namaha.
Om Sarabhyai Namaha.
Om Surabhyai Namaha.
Om Sarabhyai Namaha.
Om Surabhyai Namaha.
Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yatkripatamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Consider. Yeah. Yeah. So welcome everyone to this unusual, irregular time for having a get-together. Being the most auspicious appearance of Sri Balaramji, by Prabhupada's mercy, devotees all over the world are celebrating this Balaram Jayanti, and especially in places like Vrindavan. And because Sridham Mayapur is known as Gupta Vrindavan, we also celebrate as nicely as possible. So, what comes to my mind actually, naturally, the day of Lord Balaram's appearance is a very special day to remember Lord Balaram and his significance for all of us, which of course is on many different levels. Lord Balaram is referred to as Adiguru, actually. He plays a very significant and very unique role and position in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Many years ago, some devotees were having an argument, and it continues, I guess. Devotees sometimes have different questions and have different understanding. The question was, in the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if somebody was going to ask you, and I will, what is the meaning of Rama in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? So some devotees were telling that, Rama means Ram, Lord Ramachandra, who appeared and, who was sent to exile, etc. And then somebody else was telling, no, Ram doesn't mean Lord Ramachandra. Ram actually means Balaram. And then it was like a heated discussion. They were giving different Shastric references, I think. So in those days, the easiest way to bring a solution to any was to go and see Prabhupada. So they went to see Srila Prabhupada. They put forth to him the differences of opinion. So what was Prabhupada's answer? Radha Rama.
That's what I heard.
We hear different things. So what I heard, you can share what you heard after possibly. What I heard is that Prabhupada explained that, you see, in the Mahamantra, when Krishna of course is Krishna. No doubts and no questions about it. But Rama refers simultaneously to Lord Ramachandra, to Lord Balaram, and also to Nityanandaram, because Nityananda is not different from Balaram.
Yes.
So actually, Rama has different meanings, and I've not heard about, what is it?
There is one commentary, if I'm not mistaken, by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
No arguments there.
Yeah, I have read it somewhere that this Rama is actually Radha Raman, the one who's giving pleasure to Srimati Radharani. So the
Radharani.
whole Mahamantra is just only about Radha and Krishna. So that was
Yes.
this comment.
Yes, actually, yes, we definitely accept that commentary. That is a wonderful thing, actually, because we have many very powerful acharyas who have different insights and realizations, isn't it? And so Lord Ramachandra means many wonderful things for all of his wonderful devotees. And I wanted to bring out something that I've, of course, whenever I get the opportunity, I try to kind of share this and bring this out, because that's in a purport given by Srila Prabhupada, so obviously it's very authorized as well, whereby you will remember, those who have heard this particular reference to the 10th canto. What's the reference in the 10th canto that is speaking in a very unique and special way about Balaram? And in that purport, actually, Prabhupada, we could say he gives a whole very summarized picture of what is our ideal Vedic culture, and what is the specific role of Balaram in that culture. I suppose it will become more obvious on Janmashtami.
Yes, it will, definitely.
Actually, Lord Balaram, of course, he knows everything, but we have a surprise for him. Normally, on somebody's birthday, and it is Balaram's appearance, so his birthday, we offer gifts to people whose birthday is there. We're going to surprise Lord Balaram and offer him his birthday gifts on Krishna's appearance.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm referring to Canto 10, chapter, which chapter? 11? You can find it. Text. Anyone memorize the text yet? Number? 10, 11, 37. 10, 11, 37. Very important purport.
Canto 10,
Canto 10,
chapter
11,
11, text 10, 11, and
37.
10, 11, 37.
10, 11, 37. Can you kindly read us the Sanskrit? And I'll have someone else read the English. And those who are Telugu Walas, they can work it out somehow. You can read the Sanskrit?
Evam brajauka sampritim yachanto balachestitaihi kalavakyai vastapalau bhavuvatuhu.
Translation.
In this way,
Yeah.
In this way, Krishna and Balaram, acting like small boys and talking in half-broken language, gave transcendental pleasure to all the inhabitants of Braja. In due course of time, they became old enough to take care of the cows.
Yes. This is Krishna and Balaram, and actually all the Brajavasis have relocated to Vrindavan. Before that, they were in Gokul. Why did they move from Gokul?
because of the demons.
Too many demons. Little did they know that there would also be demons in Vrindavan. But yeah, they moved from Gokul thinking that it would be a safer place. That's nicely described also in the Bhagavatam. So they moved when did they move? How old was Krishna and Balaram? Because they're about the same age. Is described actually in that beginning of the chapter. They moved soon after what we know today as a Damodar Leela. So how old was Krishna?
5 years.
Damodar Leela? He was crawling.
Yeah, though not 5 years.
Few months.
Yeah, so 7, 8 months.
Yeah,
maybe.
something like that.
I had a list. I'll have to find
Yeah, correct.
exact Leela times. Yes.
Yeah, right. So, because too many unusual things were happening in Gokula, Nanda Maharaj, being the head of the village and in his great wisdom, he spoke to all the residents, had a big meeting. Okay, this is it. We're moving. So it's nicely described how they all took their bullock carts, and then it also mentions how, Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj is Vaishya, playing the role of Vaishya, but it mentions how there were, they're not described as soldiers, but there were residents who were walking with bow and arrows on the side of the bullock carts to protect the cows and the and the devotees, the Brajavasis. So maybe let's say within 1 year of age, Krishna and Balaram, everyone moves to Vrindavan, and then this verse is telling that in due course of time. Now that's something else maybe you could find out. What was that due course of time where two things. One is that in this verse it mentions that Krishna and Balaram were old enough to start looking after the calves, number one. Secondly, we know that on a particular year, on Gopastami, Krishna graduates.
Yes.
He, from looking after the cows, he then starts to look after the cows. I'd like to know what was the actual age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I think it would just be specifically for Krishna, because when Krishna asked Nand Maharaj that I want to take he denied first. You are not old enough. He's like, no, I am old enough. And they're like, no, you are not old enough. Then he's like, okay, go get Gargamuni and let's ask when is the time. He's like, today, right now is the best time. There is no other time in years now.
Okay.
So it was.
So that's a historical moment, and there must be a particular age. So what was the age of Krishna and Balaram when they started looking after the calves, and what was the age? It's nice to know.
Yes.
What was the age when they started looking after the calves, the cows. So in the purport to this verse, where Krishna and Balaram are old enough to start looking after the calves, Srila Prabhupada makes some very important statements, which actually for all of us as devotees are important to know. Because Prabhupada, he explains how Krishna and Balaram, by beginning this daily activity of looking after the small calves, he describes that activity as being Vedic education. And he goes on to explain that actually academic education was only meant for Brahmanas. Means Gurukula, traditionally, primarily for Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, of course. Whereas the majority of young boys, that would be their activity connected with cows and also with the land. So in that purport, Prabhupada goes on to elaborate a little bit more. And at the very end, he mentions, I believe, the last sentence. Well, maybe you can read the last sentence?
Yes.
The last two sentences. Or maybe the last
Should I
sentence.
start from the...
Actually, you can read the whole purport because it's very short and it's very instructive. You can read one line and you can read one line.
I will read from the. There was no need to waste time to go to school. Prabhu, you can start from the beginning.
Oh, okay. You,
I want to read the last part. I love this part. Because I went to university and I
did.
stopped.
Yeah, you failed. The good
Stopped
failure.
or was stopped?
I stopped because Prabhu Kisora, he told me that, oh, you are so young. Because at that time I went to university in the morning and then I worked in the bank in the afternoon.
Okay.
So he asked me like, why you are working so hard? What dream you would like to achieve?
Yes.
And then it just clicked my mind and I thought, he's right.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, anyway.
Okay,
Prabhu.
yeah. That's another purport.
Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As soon as Krishna and Balaram were a little grown up, they were meant for taking care of the cows. Although born of a very well-to-do family, they still had to take care of the cows. This was the system of education. Those who were not born in Brahmana families were not meant for academic education. The Brahmanas were trained in a literary academic education. The Kshatriyas were trained to take care of the state, and the Vaishyas learned how to cultivate the land and take care of the cows and calves. Prabhu.
There was no need to waste time going to school to be falsely educated and later increase the number of the unemployed.
Haribol.
Krishna and Balaram taught us by their personal behavior. Krishna took care of the cows and played his flute, and Balaram took care of agricultural activities with a plow in his hand.
Yes. So these two important words. Savanam. Hearing. What does Krishna have in his hands?
Flute.
All the time. Yes. Pretty well all the time. And what does Balaram have?
Plow.
Plow. Sometimes a plow, sometimes something else.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes a gada.
Yes.
Yeah. And sometimes a
Mushal.
mushal. I have to learn that. So this is very instructive actually for us as devotees. It means that actually if one is not in the category of Brahmana and Kshatriya, then he's meant to be intimately, closely, directly, daily connected with either like Krishna with the flute, because the flute is one of the most melodious, one of the most attractive instruments that is very alluring, very attractive to the cows. The cows become enchanted, especially when Krishna plays the flute. Krishna is not the only one who plays the flute in Vrindavan. There's not only one flute in Vrindavan. There are many cowherd boys who also learn to play the flute. But when Krishna plays the flute, everything comes to a standstill. It's nicely described, right? In the Krishna Lila, in the Krishna book. Everyone who hears Krishna's flute, they become stunned. They stop doing what they're doing. They just freeze, including the cows. What happens to the cows? Their ears go up like this, and they're stuck there. Everything, because it's like we don't hear that sound. Or maybe we heard it a long time back, I don't know, but we can't estimate or we cannot understand the kind of influence this sound of Krishna's flute has. So much so, actually, it mentions that even the river Jamuna, what happens to the river Jamuna?
Stop.
She stops flowing. Now that's unusual.
Very significant.
Quite significant. She stops flowing because in Vrindavan, everything and everyone is animate. Everyone is serving Krishna. The stones are serving Krishna. The grass is serving Krishna. The Jamuna is serving Krishna. The Jamuna is serving Krishna and the cows every day because that's where they get their drinking water. So when we say that a Vedic culture is agrarian culture, we need to understand what that actually means. It means that actually the majority of people, they're meant to live in villages, and they're meant to follow in the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan, especially in the matter of their daily activities, their daily occupation, isn't it? So this is, in many ways, one of the most difficult things for us to understand, even as devotees, because for different reasons, we have a very wrong conception of education, which is one of your favorite topics. We think that unless you go to a building, you sit in a building, behind a desk, you're not going to school. But Vedic culture is teaching us something very different. Majority of people actually are not meant to go to formal school. Majority of people are meant to learn simply by being with others, by the process of observation, isn't it? And they're meant to learn generally from their either father directly, or their uncle, or those who are living in the village. And this is actually meant to be what is called the norm. Norm means what is normal. Norm means what is normal. So what does that mean? It means that we're all abnormal. Isn't it? We're not following the norm. That is what is most normal, means what is natural. Isn't it?
Yes.
And actually the essence of dharma. What is the essence of dharma? What is bringing us to what is natural? What is bringing us to what is original? Our original and our natural position is to serve Krishna. And our natural and original position, both in the spiritual world and in the material world, is to look after cows. Isn't it?
Yes.
Vedic culture is cow culture. Vedic economy is cow-based economy, isn't it? So this is because sometimes devotees, they will say, well, they will bring a list of different reasons why this doesn't seem possible or realistic in modern day society. But we tend to forget that actually what we experience and what we see in modern day society, especially in connection with what we call urbanization or city life, it is because it is not the norm, especially the modern cities. If somewhere there was a Dwarka city, we could all go there and live very happily. But there's no such thing as a Dwarka city or Vedic city. Vedic cities don't exist in modern day society. And Vedic villages used to be there, and one can still find remnants, examples of Vedic villages, but unfortunately that is very quickly disappearing, yes. And that is one of the very major and important reasons why we as devotees and we as a society must go to the villages. But if we don't know about cow culture, if we don't know about Vedic cow economy, what we will do in the villages? We will fall short of what we are meant to do in the villages. We can encourage people, of course, to chant Hare Krishna, which is fine, and that we need to do. But simultaneously, we need to be aware of what is Krishna's culture. And what is Krishna's culture? Krishna's culture is Vrindavan culture, isn't it? And Vrindavan culture is not only centered on the Rasa Leela, although that is the topmost expression on the transcendental platform of Krishna's demonstrating his love and affection for his most confidential devotees, the gopis of Vrindavan, and Srimati Radharani. And generally when we think of Vrindavan, we think of the Rasa Leela. But there's a whole Leela in terms of what Krishna and all the residents of Vrindavan every day they were doing. And the residents of Vrindavan, Jai Parthasarathi Prabhu ki.
Jai.
Yes, better later than never. Welcome, yes. I think our only Bengali right now in the audience. Well, Gyan Samudra is busy doing something. So this culture, we should let him sit there. It's okay. Yeah, this culture we should try to understand is an eternal culture. It's an eternal culture. We better start getting used to it. Otherwise we'll miss the boat.
Yes.
It's an eternal culture which once you learn it, it's just like once you learn the basics of what is the Vedic culture, once you learn the basics of, let's say, Bhagavad Gita, you never forget, you know. Dehi nosmin yata dehi komaram jovanam jara. We're not, there's deha and dehi, basic philosophy, basic tattva. So part of the Vedic tattva, part of the Vedic eternal tattva is connected directly with the lifestyle of the residents of Vrindavan. And we cannot give any kind of excuse to keep us away from actually what is meant to be our eternal culture. So that's why this is intimately, directly connected with another question. Can I ask you a question? Say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is like English class for you. Yeah. What are the three gifts of nature? You know what is gift? What is gift?
What are the three gifts of nature?
Gifts.
अच्छा, okay.
Okay, yeah.
प्रकृति की तीन भेंट कौन सी है?
Three gifts. Actually, how do you say in Telugu? Who's here Telugu? How do you say it can translate? Three gifts of nature. You know, gift.
तीन भेंट प्रकृति की कौन सी है?
Like on birthday, today we are giving different gifts to the Lord. Nice backdrop.
तो प्रकृति के तीन गिफ्ट कौन से हैं?
No. You have to ask the question, not give the answer.
प्रश्न पूछे. But you know, आप हिंदी जानते हो ना? So he understands. I just translated.
Yeah, three gifts of nature. I will tell one. This should help to find the others.
Yes.
The first, most important gift. You know, when we get a gift, what do? Especially if it's a very precious gift. Did you ever receive a precious gift?
In my life.
Like your wife or something?
Wife is actually because it's a donation. It's
I don't want to put you on the spot. Yes.
First, what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, wife is actually a gift because father gives as a donation to the husband.
Yes.
So actually, wife is considered gift.
Yes, and
So
wife is actually.
Kanyadan is happening. So
And wife is there to actually help the husband.
yes.
You know, make progress in spiritual life.
So you take care of her.
Yes.
Nice.
So naturally, yeah. So the point I'm making is that when we receive a precious gift, we look after it.
Yes.
We take care of it. We value.
Yes.
We value that gift. We don't give it away. We don't sell it,
Yes.
isn't it? So
What is that?
what is? There are three very special, very special gifts of nature that actually are the foundation of the Vedic culture. And we don't know in modern day society, even ourselves as devotees, many of our devotees don't understand what those three gifts of nature are. So one of them, should I tell?
महाराज जी पहला बोल रहे हैं आगे
I should tell one.
आपको बोलना।
But then you have to tell another one. The first gift of nature, Parthasarathi Prabhu. What is the first gift
First
of
gift of nature.
Yes.
Body.
Body. That's the last one. That's not a gift. It's a source of misery. It's a source of. But of course, human body is a gift. Is a kind of gift because it helps us to find the other gifts.
Yes.
The three gifts of nature. The first, most important gift of nature is Mother Surabhi, cow. Yes. What's another name for Mother Surabhi? Very important.
Kamadenu.
Kamadhenu. She can fulfill all desires.
All desires,
Kama,
yes.
desire. Give it, yes, fulfilling all desires. So Vedic culture gives special importance to cows because they provide for everything when we properly care for them. And that's why Krishna values so much his cows and is so intimate with his cows. He speaks with his cows. He speaks the same language of cows. Every cow has a name and he doesn't forget like we do. A second gift. What is another gift of nature? Very, very intimately connected with cows.
Land.
Land, yes. Yeah. Bhumi. Bhumi is another gift of nature. And therefore these two gifts, cows and land, are meant to be always together. In modern day society we have separated. We're trying to extract, isn't it, from Bhumi, from Mother Earth, food and other things, and not without cow, without bull,
Yes.
by machine. It doesn't work. And we see the very bad effects of that. And the third gift of nature
Education.
is okay,
Knowledge.
yes, education. Knowledge about the first two gifts of nature.
Yes. Knowledge about cows and land.
Knowledge about cows and land especially. So if we are cultivating knowledge, without cultivating knowledge of cows and land, something is missing. What's missing? 66% is missing. I mean, 2 out of 3 is missing, isn't it? So our knowledge is incomplete. And how Krishna can be happy and satisfied if we're not aware of cows, if we're not caring for cows, if we're not protecting cows, if we're not caring for the land, for the soil upon which the cows actually can survive and depend. The cows depend on the land. Of course, the land depends on the cows also. It's kind of interconnected. So we should pray to Lord Balaram because it's his birthday today. It's a good day to ask favors.
Yes.
When somebody is happy. On their birthday, people usually happy. So we should pray to Lord Balaram to help us understand about this whole dimension of land. Because he's, in the purport, the last sentence, Prabhupada, he carries a plow because he's in charge of agriculture. He's in charge of the land. So our devotees here actually serving at our, Varnashram Resource Center, Varnashram College in the making. We have this nice opportunity to look after, on the other side of this wall, there's in the making Krishna Balaram garden. Krishna and Balaram's garden. And in a few days, actually, we already made kind of a rough sketch of the layout where there is going to be entrance from the east side. And it will be in that garden of Krishna and Balaram that we will be having our courses during Kartik under the gazebo. By that time, we're trying to work out how to cover it actually with grass as natural as possible. Yeah. But meantime, we're actually looking, like Lord Chaitanya compared himself to a gardener. And he was asking so many people to become gardeners. So today, on behalf of Lord Balaram, and because he's in charge of agriculture, we are requesting, we're looking for gardeners. We're requesting devotees to, actually they do this in Krishna Valley. All the residents, all the residents in Krishna Valley, whatever their seva or service may be, every week, 2 or 3 days, they have to give 1 hour in the garden. You know, because every day they're eating, so you share in growing. You grow also, and you then you can honor. So a few weeks ago, actually a few days after Rath Yatra, when we went to Singur, we stopped in a nursery and we got close to 100 different varieties of flowers and a few fruit trees also. We already planted some coconut trees, and flowers are very, I mean, not only anything that's growing, there's a jiva there. And jivas need personal care and attention, even in a flower or vegetable form, yeah. And that's been proven actually. If you put some nice music beside a plant, the plant will be happy. And if you put all kinds of crazy noise, then the plant doesn't like, she won't grow, you know. That's the same thing actually psychologically. They made experiment, for example, for pregnant ladies. Pregnant ladies, they divided 2 groups of pregnant ladies, and in one group they played classical music, nice, soft, quiet music. And then in the other group they played rock and roll, kind of, you know, modern music. And they studied the behavior of the children that were born from these 2 groups, and they found definite differences in their psychological makeup. Yeah. The ones who heard classical music were more calm, more towards a mode of goodness, like that, you know. So we can pray to Lord Balaram that he can inspire us so that we can grow some nice flowers for him and his older brother, Krishna. Balaram likes to do so many things for his brother because, I mean, younger brother, not older, yeah. Balaram is older, so like any older brother, is always wanting to protect the smaller one, the younger one. So, I think maybe 12 o'clock is Arati, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's in a few minutes from now.
20 minutes.
In what?
In 20 minutes.
No.
10 in 10 minutes. Oh,
10 minutes.
yes, in 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
11 minutes.
Yes.
So there's so many things actually to be said about Lord Balaram, and maybe I would like some of you to kind of share something that comes to your mind regarding Balaram Ji.
Yes.
Not too long, because we only have 10 minutes, and at least 2 or 3 devotees might like to share something. Just whatever. Yes.
Recently, me and my Bhagavatam, my wife, we were talking, and she was sharing something very interesting that she heard in some lecture. That how we all know how Krishna married to the wives but we don't really listen a lot about how Balaramji got married to Revati,
Ah,
who was the wife of Lord Balaramji.
yes.
So she was sharing this thing that when Revati was actually from Satyuga,
Satya Yuga.
yeah, and in the like early, not probably just Satyuga, maybe Treta, whichever, I'm not
Okay.
sure, but
Right.
was
Di-
way
different
way
year.
earlier, yes. And her father, because she was so powerful and so beautiful, and all the every quality that is needed to be in a woman, it was there inside
Yes.
her, and everything was there, but her father was so worried that there is nobody in this world who can be really
Qualified.
qualified to marry my daughter. There is nobody. He tried to find everyone but couldn't find anyone. And then finally, he was just tired of looking, and then he went to Lord Brahma. And, okay, give me someone whom I can get my daughter married to, because she's so overqualified
Yeah.
that it's just impossible to find a human who can actually handle my girl.
Yes.
And they went to Lord Brahma, and he presented this query, and Lord Brahma said that, okay, I understand it's actually not possible so easily in a human world to find someone. But now that you have come to Brahma Loka, time here passes differently. Now if you go back down, it's not your time currently going. Currently the time going is a Treta Yuga, and currently the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his brother, elder brother, both are performing the Leelas. So you go and give your daughter as a gift, as a Kanyadan, to the elder brother of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. And he's like, oh, is it? Okay, I'll go. Then he went down, and he went and saw Lord Balaram, and he was like this much.
Okay.
Because they were from the early Yuga, so they were very tall.
Dwapara is short.
Yeah, yes. So in Dwapara, yes, not in Treta.
Yeah, right.
Yes, so in Dwapara, they went and then he said that please accept my daughter. But Balaram is like, okay, you are tall. And wife cannot be really, if you really see, my
Right.
wife should not be taller than husband.
Correct.
Actually, ideally, wife should be like this shorter at least, that it comes to heart. So that shorter she should be. And Balaram says, okay, that's fine, but because everything else is fine, but you are tall, we need to do something. So he took his hull, he put on her head, and because of the weight of the hull, she became shorter, and she became this short to Balaram's here then.
Okay.
And then Revati became that small, and then he accepted her as a wife. So this one very beautiful Leela I wanted to share with her.
Very nice. Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. So the age factor was not a factor.
Age, ultimately it was actually, but I think because they went to Lord Brahma, so age is still same because they went there. She was not passing her life here. She was still Kumari, means a virgin, a very early age, probably 10 years, 11, 12 years, and then they went there and they came back. So age was still there, the same.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. Are you all?
Yes.
Anyone else have a story? Something? Short pastime? Of Balaramji? We have 6 minutes.
I have one question actually to you. Today only we were talking. Just a minute, I'll start the recording because I want to share this to my wife also. Yes. So today only in the morning, today with Balaram Purnima, with Balaram Jayanti, is also the day of Raksha Bandhan.
Is the?
Raksha Bandhan, Rakhi. I don't know more.
Oh, okay,
foreigners. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like to brother, sister.
Yes, brother and sisters. Yes. So it is extremely significant day on in India. It's a
Yes.
Vedic call, and
Correct.
Draupadi tied the Rakhi to Lord Krishna, and it started actually in Satyuga that King Bali was, I think, tied the Rakhi by Mother Lakshmi while he was going something. It's a elaborate leela.
Yes.
So today, as my mother called me in the morning, because my daughter has a brother who is also nearly same.
Your daughter?
My daughter, because my brother's son is there.
Cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, cousin. Yes. So So, yeah, not.
Okay.
Well, if Krishna wills
Yeah,
very
yeah,
soon.
yeah.
So, um, so my mother said that we have bought locally one Rakhi behalf of Sudarshini Narayani, and we will tie it to our Raghav. His name is Raghav. And at the same time, my mother also said that because you have now more brothers and sisters in the house, which is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and Sudarshan.
Right.
So why not Sudarshini Narayani buys some Rakhi and ties to them also, like Krishna and Balaram, Jagannath and Baldeva.
Right.
And it is from my mother. My mother knows all these things very well. And I told this thing to my wife that okay, yes, we should do this because like kind of they are like my children. If we see like that, I'm taking care of them here. And and my daughter, so they are elder brothers and sisters of Sudarshini. So mother has suggested this, so we should actually do this. And she was saying this because she has been pujari there and everything. And she's like, I'm not sure about this. Like they are God. Shall we really do this? And I'm like, we should definitely do this. Whole point of our Gaudiya Parampara is to develop personal relationship with God. That is the whole point of it. But still, she was hesitant about this thing that okay, we can do this, but I would really appreciate if you can ask Maharaj about this thing that if he allows, then definitely we can do this. So I wanted to ask this thing to you. Can we do this that we can, my daughter can offer Rakhi to Krishna and Balaram?
If mother has said, then that is, what is it? If this is a request of your mother.
Yes, yes.
Mother's request comes first.
Surely. Thank you. I will
My
share
wife wants to offer this to Lord Balaram, Rakhi.
No. Yes, so his wife has brought also Rakhi for our Lord Balaram here.
Oh, is it, huh?
Yes.
Okay. That's
And
why you're here this
Same
morning.
question.
Okay.
actually, after her question, I also researched a bit, and I came to know then that in Jagannath Puri also this happens. That they tie the Rakhi to Jagannath and Baldeva, especially Baldeva on that day, because on this day Baldeva was also born.
Yes, correct.
Yes, so
Yes.
it is kind of a tradition.
Okay.
Although Prabhupada hasn't as a main way has put this, because there are so many such traditions. Prabhupada cannot really mention everything.
Right.
But yes, my wife is in a kind of such a person. She's very like like okay, Prabhupada has said, then we do it. No, nothing, no else. So I told her that okay, I will ask Maharaj, and I will tell her what you said exactly.
It's not that everybody starting tomorrow has to implement this,
Yes.
but in this particular situation, it's quite
Yes.
okay.
Yes, surely.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki.
Jai.
Jai Sri Balaram Jayanti ki.
Jai.
Jai Sri Balaram Abhibhav Titi Mahamahotsav ki.
Jai.
Jai Nitai Gaura Pimanande.
Hari.
Okay.
His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj ki.
Jai.